All right, so I'm gonna have to tape it down, and then I'll just correct it because I noticed my line has shifted a bit, like so. So this is my original line, and this is not just there. So I'll just go ahead, and I'll just want to know the dimension, so at least when you're doing yours, you'll be able to ended up using 10 inches, which I think is quite fine. So now I'll be connecting it back into the side back, the CB into the side back. Now please note that you are not coming down by anything here. Remember, we didn't come down by anything. We didn't add any extra 1 inch into, so you can see that I'm connecting it like so, like this. So this is our train, and I'll just go ahead and use my curve to connect it. So if you actually don't add your train to the back, what you would have is you realize that your back is going to be shorter than the sides, and of course you do not want that. So this is it, and now don't forget to blend the side to avoid the sharp point, and of course this side also to avoid the sharp point. So I'm not going to go ahead and cut this out now. We've successfully achieved our mermaid skirt using the slash and the spread technique. So I'll just go ahead to cutting this out. And if you want, you can still go ahead to like style your mermaid skirt, like just be creative about it. Like I said, this class is actually, it's not for beginners. I'll just say it's not for beginners. So just want to put on your creativity cap, and like I said, if I want more trim, I can still go ahead, and still open it up and spread it on my fabric. That is entirely up to you. So this is the back, like so. I'm just going to blend this particular part, like so. And of course, I have my front pattern here. This is the front, as you can see. So you can see they're actually matching up at the end here. If yours are not matching, then probably you've added to it. And of course, this is my CB, as you can see. And this is the train I have there. So now, next we'll be doing is cutting this on fabric. So I'll just go ahead and cut this on my fabric, and then I'll show you the next thing. So I'm just going to label this side my CB, and of course my SB. Alright guys, so I'm actually gonna head to cut out my pattern on my fabric. And so like I said, now we are using the crepe fabric for the lining part. That is going to be the main skirt, while we'll be placing this lace on it. So this is the front. Now for the seam allowance, I actually added 1 inch to the side seams, and of course 0.5 to the upper part at the waistline. That was what I actually added. We don't really need too much seam allowance on this dress. Remember that we are not doing double lining. All we just need to is, by the time we are done, we just go ahead and just serge or weave the edges. Now to the hem, I actually added 2 inches to it because I actually want it to sweep the ground. Like I want it to flow very well. This is actually optional. You can retain your initial length, but I actually went ahead to add about 2 inches to my own, which is okay. So this is the front. I've cut out both the, let's call it the lining part, and the lace fabric. So I was going to keep this aside. And of course, this is my back. Now, the back has a bit of an explanation because remember, we are working with a lace fabric of 60 inches. And by the time we actually calculate our tail or our train length, it would actually be much more than 16 inches. So what I just did, or what you want to do, is you need to add to the hem. So what you just do is just go ahead and fold your lace fabric like so. You fold it into two, and then you cut out. So that was what I just did, so that it would be long enough. So I just went ahead to kind of like add extra inches to it. So if you're working with lace fabric of probably 45 inches, you can still, use this same method, and by the time you're done sewing, it wouldn't be noticeable. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is that you actually add to your length, unless you are probably not adding a train at the back. So but if you are adding a train at the back, you want to go through this process. So this is my lace fabric, which I've cut out for the back, and of course this is my crepe fabric, which is going to serve as the lining. So the same thing I did, I just added 0.5 inch to the center back. Remember, we'll be having a zipper at this part here, and of course 1 inch to the side back, and then 2 inches to the hem. So I was going to go ahead and still fold this and keep it aside. So I'm gonna to also cut out the front. Remember, we are using two nets for the front. So for the front now, I went ahead to cut out 6 layers. Remember, I said 6 layers. We'll be using 4 layers for the main corset, while the remaining 2 layers is going to be a form of overlay, because I actually want this corset to actually have like a sheer look kind of, but this is totally optional. You can decide to just go for just the normal 4 layers. So I went ahead to cut out 4 layers of two for the main corset, and then 2 extra layers for the sheer effect, that's the overlay. I'll call it overlay. So for my seam allowance now, at the hem, I added about, it's not up to 1 inch, just 0.75 to the CF. To this partner, I added half inch, half inch all around, half inch. So you don't want to do more than half inch. Remember, we'll still be trimming off our excess. So this is the side front. And then I went ahead to notch the underbust. It's very important. I notched the underbust. So this is the side front, the same 6 layers. Now this is my side back, of course, and this is my center back, the same 6 layers. And I went ahead to notch the upper part, and then the sides where I would be joining. So for this now, I'd actually like to also go ahead and notch the waistline. But since I have notched this part now, I can still go ahead and leave that, because I don't want to actually confuse myself. So now I'll be moving over to our sewing machine, where we'll be putting this beautiful piece together. I'll be showing you how to sew this beautiful dress, and I'll be showing you. So all right, now we'll see at the sewing machine.